thrill of the tape for this welterweight championship showdown between Cotto and Margarito. And you see the 3-year age advantage for the Puerto Rican fighter, perceived as being at the absolute peak of his career. Margarito, on the other hand, with a 3-inch height advantage. Arm lengths, however, are equal when measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. They both weighed in white at the 147-pound weight limit, and both look spectacular in doing so. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Miguel Cotto-Antonio Margarito fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. In case of caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell at any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
And better than is appreciated.
Since he got his career rolling, Antonio Margarito has never lost to a shorter man. But Miguel Cotto has stared down taller opponents before. Early on, it's Cotto who's the more accurate puncher. He's landed his jab a couple of times and landed a good left hook. Now there's an uppercut from Margarito. And the first minute produces more of a boxing match than some expected, and Cotto confidently steps inside and whips the left hook again. Margarito coming forward behind the jab.
Margarito's giving Cotto a lot of respect in this first round.
Yeah, I think he's fighting a very, very smart. I think Margarito's fighting a very, very good fight. He's catching punches, and his jab is being very effective, too. He's not as flashy, but his jab is still very effective.
Good left hand by Cotto. Both fighters have had some offensive moments. Cotto lands the right hand and holds it up for the crowd to see. Miguel Cotto looks very sharp, very quick in the early going. Another left hook. Margarito lands his own left simultaneously. Flurry by Cotto. Margarito looking for opportunities, but putting space between the punches. Now the left uppercut from Mark. Skillful first round, but at the end of the day, it appeared Cotto has had more moments than Margarito.
Use your jab, use your jab. Jab, the right hand, and then the uppercut. And be careful with the counterpunch. That's what he's using. He's using the counterpunch, but be more intelligent. Be focused. Focused on what he's doing, because he can do the jab. Careful with his elbows. Careful with his elbows, because he puts them in. Very, very nice first round. All right, let's do the same thing.
Here we see what may have been the cleanest punches of the whole round. Even though a lot of punches were thrown, the right hand and left hand right between the gloves by Cotto, I think, was the best clean punches that landed during that round.
CompuBox numbers pretty one-sided. Margarito 12 out of 57. Cotto 32 out of 70.
That's
a stunning statistical round.
That's the round I saw. I thought Cotto fairly dominated the round with his boxing skill.
Well, I think that's the way that most boxing experts expected the first round to go, even the guys who picked Margarito. Because Cotto is a much better boxer, much faster, much more crispier puncher. But what's going to happen after about 4 or 5 rounds is really what's the big question.
Margarito starts to smoke, and then we'll find what's what.
I'm just surprised that Margarito hasn't tried to produce more pressure early on. If Antonio Margarito only throws 57 punches in a round, that's a slow round for him. He's showing tremendous respect for Cotto's skill and speed. Cotto sticking his jab right between Margarito's gloves. Margarito reaching, lunging, hasn't really found the timing to land repeated combinations yet. Now he gets in a wide right hand on the cheek of Cotto.
The drama here is also Margarito's such a good puncher, and Cotto has been on the canvas and rocked before.
Now Margarito gets the space he wants and eats an uppercut for his trouble and smiles at Cotto as if to say, all right, now we're fighting.
Watch your heads! Watch your heads!
Kenny Bayless says, watch your heads. They're landing with their hands.
But Cotto's going, but Margarito is really putting a lot of pressure on him, unlike any he's ever had. And pressure from a taller fighter is different than from a shorter fighter.
And Margarito landed an excellent right hand about 10 seconds ago.
But see, right here, Margarito's walking him down again. He's not letting him get that space. He's taking his space from him.
Cotto's still patiently hunting for the counter-punching opportunities. Margarito is starting to develop the volume, which has typified his career. Cotto pounding him with repeated left hooks. Both fighters have said hello in round 2. There's blood coming from the nose of Miguel Cotto. So Margarito's made his mark in terms of drawn blood. And the Mexican fans in the crowd love that. Cotto chopping and chopping with the left hand. Margarito firing with the right. It's a punch, counter punch, confrontation.
All right. Little water now. Throw it out. He's going to want to do everything. He's going to go through headbutts. Keep your distance. Keep your distance.
Here you see Cotto landing beautiful clean shots. He's landing most of the clean, effective punches, fighting off the ropes very effectively. But how long can he keep going if Margarito takes those type punches and keep putting that pressure on him? That's the question.
CompuBox numbers in round 2 were spectacular. Cotto 35 out of 80. Margarito 33 out of 96. Together they landed 54 power shots. So it has suddenly become the gunfight that everyone anticipated. Now let's see if Cotto can begin to make it more of a boxing match again. Cotto trying to use his feet, create space, and limit the volume of Margarito's punches. Margarito trying to crowd Cotto into the corners and against the ropes where he can fire away at will. Cotto counters off the ropes with the left hook. A pattern that begins to repeat throughout the fight. Combination punching from Cotto. And they trade shots. Every time Margarito lands a punch, Cotto counters, sometimes with 2.
See a little bit in the face?
Okay.
Don't worry about it. You have there's no reason to be on the inside. Put your hands on the inside and get out.
This right here is consistent of the pattern of the fight. Margarito very aggressively coming in, but Cotto landing the clean precision punches and steadily moving away after that to avoid getting caught in any exchanges.
Average in jabs per round through the first 3 rounds, according to CompuBox. Cotto 9 of 26. Margarito not as accurate with his jab, only landing 3 out of 32 per round. Our first chance to check in with our unofficial scorer, Harold Letterman. How do you have it through 2?
2 rounds to 1. 29-28, Miguel Cotto. Jim, I thought Miguel Cotto did a nice job in round 1. He won that. In round 2, Antonio Margarito got him up against the ropes, got real good leverage and got his shots off. But in round 3, Miguel Cotto kept moving to the left, and he was just out punching him whenever he stopped. But be as it may, I don't think Antonio Margarito is doing a great job cutting off that ring. What he's doing is he's chasing him. He ought to step to his right and whack him. Be as it may, 2-1, Miguel Cotto.
Trade uppercuts, and it's Margarito whose head pops up.
Question if the fight continues like this is, can Cotto sustain this pace? Margarito typically gets stronger as the fight wears on.
Absolutely. That's my biggest concern if I was in Cotto's corner. I know I have the better fighter, but can he sustain this pace for 12 rounds? Margarito's putting a lot of pressure on him, and Margarito's defense is a lot better than the public is giving credit for.
Miguel Cotto hasn't exactly faded in the late rounds in fights against guys like Judah and Mosley. I think it's fairly audacious, guys, for you to question whether Miguel Cotto can finish. But, of course, Margarito is a unique pressure fighter.
He's a big, big man, and it's a different thing. And he throws punches from all angles. He bangs you on your shoulders, your elbows, your head. He's throwing a lot of punches from different angles.
And just the psychological pressure Margarito.
Body shots by Antonio. Cotto may regret having stopped in a corner, but Now he comes back with a hard right hand and a left hook and an uppercut. 3 clean shots. Another left hook for Cotto. Down the stretch of round 4, it was Miguel Cotto who scored.
Inside on the outside. You've got to work them. You've got to throw punches. Throw punches and connect, connect, connect. Don't let him build.
Here you see Margarito's pressures. He's throwing a lot of different punches at Cotto. And the thing about it, his punches come from different angles. He doesn't throw the same punch over and over. Beautiful short right hand right there. But Cotto is such a sharp, precision puncher. He comes right back and catches him at the end of the round with a beautiful short left hook.
Round 5 begins. Combi box count in round 4 had Cotto landing 23 of 67 to 15 of 86 for Margarito. A much higher percentage for Cotto, built on his 9 out of 29 jabs. Once again, Cotto starts the action in round 5. Then begins circling to his left again. He's circling away from Margarito's left hook into Margarito's right hand. As Harold Letterman pointed out, you wonder when Margarito will step over to the right and try to begin cutting off the ring. Margarito keeps leaving himself open to Miguel Cotto's left hand. A lot of Miguel Cotto's good shots have been the left hook and the jab.
But Cotto is really a southpaw. He's left-handed. That's why his power punches his left jab and his hook. But Margarito, who is a little bit slower, but he punches good with both hands, even though he's a little slower.
Margarito able to find Cotto with the right hand there. Now lands a roundhouse right. Cotto stands and fights again, then moves away. Cotto holding his gloves very high in this round, guarding his head. Uppercut by Cotto stops Margarito in his tracks, and he moves away again. Good block there by Cotto. Cotto having to use his feet over and over and over under relentless pressure from Antonio Margarito.
Margarito's got him sliding along the ropes most of the fight now. He's keeping him fighting off of the ropes, and that's not good.
Margarito also appears to be getting a little closer with those right hands.
Closer and closer. That's right. Because a tall guy that shoots a right hand over your shoulder that's not too wide can catch you, especially when you get tired.
When they stand still and trade, Cotto lands more punches.
Oh, he's definitely.
But he doesn't want to do it much. He wants to keep moving away. Body shot by Margarito. Cotto momentarily moves to his right. Steps up, fires 2 left hands, then moves away again. Cotto having to use his feet to limit the pressure over and over. Margarito dancing with it, trying to cut him off. Cotto lands a left hook and moves away again. Another straight left hand lands for Cotto. Yeah, Margarito frustrated as he looks for opportunities.
Very frustrated. And Cotto realizes he's winning the fight, but he's got 6 or 7 more rounds of going at this pace. If he can do that, he can win the fight. But if he can't, he's going to have a big problem.
But the cleaner punches belong to Miguel Cotto. He tends to win the flurries.
And this is what makes us depend on what kind of judge you are. A lot of judges like the guy going forward.
2 hard right hands for Margarito. Cotto comes back with the left. Eats another right hand. Ducks 3 right hands in a row.
But if you go by clean punches, Cotto's winning almost every round.
You're waiting too much. You're waiting too much with your mouth open. Come on, go. Cut his exits. Cut his exits. Use the jab. Use the right hand. Come on, move your head. I told you already. Come on, man. He's not moving on the inside. You're looking for just one punch. Don't look for just one punch. What happened? Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Use the combinations on the inside, and we use them very nicely. Come on, June. Don't stay in there with them.
Perfect.
Perfect. Let's go. Let's go.
CompuBox numbers in the 5th round. Cotto 14 of 25 power shots, 56%, 15 of 34 jabs. Overall 29 of 2, 105 father figure. asking him to speed up. Come on, get in harder and throw more shots. He only threw 105 punches in the last round. Javier Capetillo, excuse me.
And here
A low
Margarito.
blow by Margarito, and he got away with it.
But here he picks up where he left off at the end of the last round, at least throwing more punches and landing some with force, even when they don't land cleanly.
And Cotto comes back with 2 solid uppercuts and backs away again. As long as Cotto can show the judges that he lands the cleaner punches, he can probably get away with being the constant retreater. If Margarito begins not as accurate, not as sharp, but constantly keeping the pressure off. 1 minute to go in round 6. Cotto with another one of his flurries. And another uppercut. Margarito misses with the right hand as Cotto steps away. Through most of his career, Miguel Cotto has used his feet to put pressure.
But very discouraging to any fighter.
Hard right hand by Cotto. And a good left hook. Margarito fires away to the body 3 times.
I think Cotto's actually
sharp
dominating this round again. But Margarito is really making him pay a price in this round with those body shots.
Cotto blocked most of those and then slipped the others. But it looks to the crowd as though Margarito is putting all the pressure on. Tremendous combat in the 6th.
Come on, son, you're inside. Throw the hook.
Here you see Margarito putting on a tremendous amount of pressure, but he's paying the price. As he's coming in, applying the pressure, momentum may be going in his direction, but the clean punches are landed by Cotto.
Power shots in round 6. Miguel Cotto 20 out of 44. Antonio Margarito threw 75 power shots, but landed 22 of them. So the much higher connect percentage for Cotto. And Harold Letterman, how do you have it halfway through?
Okay, Jim, 58, 56, 4 rounds to 2 of Miguel Cotto. Jim, Miguel Cotto is boxing a beautiful fight.
It's the momentum in the last round.
The momentum to me is going to Margarito, even though he may be losing the fight. But he's getting closer and closer. He's landing his punches, and he's working that shot I told you about up through the center very effectively now, the left uppercut.
Yep. This is the first round where I feel that Margarito is fighting on even terms with Cotto.
So even if I would be in Cotto's corner, I would be
Cotto's
really
hurt, guys.
It's away. Miguel Cotto blowing blood out of his nose and his mouth after that violent assault by Antonio Margarito.
I think we're seeing the effects of that body work that Harold was talking
And
about
now
in
a
the last
series
round.
of clean punches for Cotto.
Power shots. Put your hands in, power shots. Pop it. Get off the ropes. Get off the ropes.
Here you see
Antonio Margarito has legendary stamina. He enhanced that credential in that round, throwing 130 punches, landing 48 of them, 46 of 104 power shots. Cotto landed 23 of 52, and some of them were hellacious punches, but Margarito is walking right through them.
it's a lot of guys who have those big volume of punches, but usually they're guys who don't have much punching power. Margarito is one of the few guys that throws a lot.
Stepping right through them and dancing forward.
He's moving in with his little jig. He's just as happy like he enjoys the situation. And he can't get to Cotto fast enough.
Margarito pressuring. Cotto lands a combination and a big uppercut and steps away.
That right hand for Margarito keeps coming up just a little short.
With the right hand there as Cotto uncharacteristically moved to his right. Miguel dodging, trying to slip punches. Margarito just throwing when they get close. This was a round in which Miguel Cotto seemed to want to regain his equilibrium and a mental foothold in the fight. And he may have it back as we go to the ninth.
Súbeme al balde, súbeme al balde.
Bring the pail up.
Ok, ponlo aquí.
All right, put it there.
Mete la cabeza allá.
Put your head in.
Vamos, Junito, en el medio te quiero, en el medio.
Just with the jab, then you hook him. He's tired, he's tired. How are we going? How are we going? We're going good. I think we're winning. I think we're winning, but don't be overconfident. Okay, okay, okay.
Power shots in 8, according to copy box numbers. Cotto 14 out of 33, Margarito 20 out of 59. You heard Javier Capetillo saying to Margarito, I think we're winning. On Harold Letterman's scorecard, the fight is now even through 8 rounds. What a drama we might be looking at in the last 4 rounds.
Jim, I have Cotto up a couple points, but it seems to me that Cotto wants this fight to end. He wishes it was over already, whereas Margarito thinks the fight is just beginning. That Cotto, in a weird way, is in survival mode, wants to run out the clock.
I would agree with you on that, Max. I think that I would maybe have possibly Cotto still ahead, possibly. You all get excited about the last rounds and the most exciting, but still Cotto had a lot of rounds in the bank. But it's the momentum of the fight and who seems to be comfortable with the situation.
And even as
Cotto run out the clock against Antonio Margarito.
And even as Cotto does what he just did, which was land a series of unanswered punches, it still is he who gives you the sense that he's shaky.
Cotto sitting on the middle rope as Margarito fired away with a bunch of punches again.
And the next stop from middle rope is the floor. It's the next place he'll be saying that if he won't do something soon.
The fact is, Margarito landed nothing big in the last round and hasn't landed anything big so far in this round. Cotto continues to land the sharper, cleaner punches when he lands. But he's backing away. He's bleeding from the mouth and the nose. He looks tireder than Margarito. All the mental impressions augur in favor of the Mexican star. Again, Cotto switches southpaw, lands a couple shots and backs away. Still the more accurate puncher. Simply not throwing nearly as many. Now Margarito starts to land again. Cotto ducking and slipping and firing back.
And still landing clean, crisp, heavy shots to the head with both hands.
Just like that. 2 good left hooks from Cotto as Margarito continued to try to apply a welter of punches, but without big effect. Body shot landed from Margarito. His best strategy is to keep going to the body. Good left hook by Miguel Cotto, and he backs away.
Stop.
This is a hard round for judges to score.